Problem number 4, we have a fourth degree polynomial. We certainly know the general shape. The coefficient on the fourth degree term is positive. The general shape of it is going to be up and up, both to left and right. What happens in the middle is what we're trying to figure out. So what I would do is Descartes rule of sign to find the positive roots. So just looking at the function, what do you get? You get plus, plus, minus, minus, plus. How many changes to get? One change here and one change here. So S equals 2. So remember that S minus P must be a non-negative even integer. And so if it's 2, well, P could be 0, or the P could be 2. All right, so we have two possibilities there. And that's for the positive roots. Now, to look at the negative roots, what we do is we rotate the curve about the y-axis so the negative become positive, and then we're going to, and that's we do that by f of minus x, by the way. Let's look at the signs over here. Plus, minus, minus, plus, plus. We have 1, 2 changes, right? So S equals 2. S minus P, again, equals a non-negative even integer. So that means P equals 0 or P equals 2. So what do we have? For positive roots, we either have 2 or 0. For negative roots, we either have 2 or 0. All right? So, there's many ways to do the problem, but my encouragement is to do, simple sign analysis and using the intermediate value theorem. So if I were doing the roots now, I'm just going to point out what I mean by that. I'm looking at the actual function, and I know it has a y-intercept at 1. Right, I know that much. Now what I do is, kind of move along, and I start to realize that if I just chose the number 1, this number 1 over here, that the function, just looking at it, if you value it at 1, it's 1 plus 1 minus 19 minus 17, clearly negative. So I know it's over here somewhere. Now what do I know now? I know there's a root. So I know there's a root on the interval where x is on the interval between 0 and 1. I know that much. All right, we keep going. Now again, if you go to 2, now looking at the 2, let's take a look at it. So if I do 2, let's write this down. What's f going to be? 16 plus 8 minus 19 times 4 minus 17 times 2 plus 1. Clearly negative. All right, now again, I'm not saying how negative it is. It doesn't matter to me. I'll go to 3 now. At some point, it's going to reverse directions. Let me put the 3 on top. What I mean by reversing directions, it's going to start sailing off, all right? So let's put 3 down. And what do you get there? Well, you get 81 plus 27. And then you get 19 times 9 minus 17 times 3 plus 1. Well, let's see, without evaluating that, let's see, 10, 91. Yeah, definitely negative. All right, so it's still negative. Going to go to 4. And what do you get there? Well, 256. You notice that fourth power is getting much larger now. Plus 64 minus 19 times 16 minus 17 times 4 plus 1. Now, certainly becoming more challenging, right? So what do you get over there? Let's see, 310. And, minus 19 times 16, minus 160. I'm sorry, minus, 160. And then 9 times 16, that's 90 and 54, 144. Minus 17 times 4, it's minus 40 and 28, minus 68, plus 1. So looking at that, clearly negative still, right? I know it's frustrating, but we're going to get a change of heart at 5, all right? So let me just erase. I'm looking for the other positive root, by the way. And let's go to 5, all right? Well, 5 to the 4th power, let's see, 5 times 5, 25, times 5, 125, 625. Let's see, plus 125, minus 19 times 25, minus 17 times 5, plus 1. I'm going to say clearly positive. So it's reversing directions here. So I now know there's a root where x is between 4 and 5. All right? We're going to go see the negative roots now. And let's get my eraser out. I think I'm done with all my preliminary work. I'm going to remain the highlighted knot, and the reason for that is because that's what I'm analyzing. And let's start taking a look. All right? So again, I want to point out what we're doing over here. We'll put a number line down. Remember, at 0, it's positive. At minus 1, relatively simple to do. You're going to get 1 minus 1 minus 19 plus 17 plus 1. And what do you get there? Negative. All right. Let me just erase this over here. Again, some people do this stuff in their head. That's fine. Let's go to minus 2. Oh, by the way, I know there's a root there now. Let's write that down. So now there's a root. X is on the interval between minus 1 and 0. Now, what do I know about this thing? It's got to go back up at some point. All right? So we're at minus 2 now. Let's put that down. And what do you get there? Well, you start to realize that you're going to get, this is minus 2, sorry, 16 minus 8 minus 19 times, well, minus 2 squared is 4, right? And then plus 34 plus 1. I'm wondering when it's going to reverse directions. All right? So 16 minus 8 is 8. And then, that's going to be minus 40 and 36, minus 76, plus 34, plus 1. And that's going to be clearly negative. Well, it's still negative over here. Let's keep going. It will reverse directions at some point. And the reason for that, the 4th degree polynomial. Here's this over here. Let's go to minus 3. And let's plug it in. What do you get? 81 minus 27 minus 19 times 3. I'm sorry, 19 times 9 minus 17 times minus 3. So I'll just put 3 over here. Plus 1. Let's see what you get there. 81 minus 27. And that's going to be 90 and 81, 171. And then what do you get? That's going to be 30 and 21, 51 plus 1. Let's kind of add it together. 81 and 51, that's 82, 132, 133. Definitely negative still, all right? Well, that's covered. Let's keep going. We're going to move to minus 4 now. And see what happens. So at minus 4, what do you get? 256 minus 64 minus 19 times 16. And then you can get plus 17 times 4. It's more challenging. Plus 1. Let's see. Let's add this together. 256 minus 64. 19 times 16. Boy, that's familiar, isn't it? That's 160. 10 times 16, and 9 times 16 is 90 and 54, 144. That's minus 304. 17 times 4, that's 40 and 28, 68, plus 1. And that's going to be, let's see, clearly negative. All right, let's go to minus 5. Get my eraser out. And again, it's going to reverse directions at some point. 625 minus 125. Let's see, minus 19 times 25. And then you're going to get 17 times 5 plus 1. Well, let's see. You get 500. And what do you get there? Minus 250. Well, you know what? It's certainly going to be below 500, so I'm not going to do that. And then the other ones are positive. It reversed directions. It's over here now. It's up there. So now I know there's a root x on the interval between minus 5 and minus 4. All right? So I'm going to, cut to the chase. I realize it's kind of a tedious process. We're using the intermediate value theorem along with Descartes' rule of signs. Let me start to erase this business over here. And, maybe I'm a little bit sloppy with the arithmetic. That's possible. But I'm just getting a feel for it. That's all we're doing. And let's see what we got over here. We're going to look at the picture. Let's take a look at that. So I want to recall that we said there was a root between 4 and 5. Wow, it's a long problem, isn't it? I also said there was a root between 0 and 1. Clearly see that. I also said there's a root between minus 1 and 0. Clearly see that. All right? I know it's a long process. A root between minus 5 and minus 4. Right over here. All right, we're just getting locations. Locations for me are between the integers. All right? We got all 4. Thank you.